Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Okay, y'all. So we're laughing because I messed around and forgot to hit record. I stopped the recording at first because I was adjusting some stuff. My bad. But it's okay. It's all right. Like, how are you, Miss Adrienne? How's everything
I,
going?
I am doing pretty good. I have no complaints. How are you?
I'm doing all right. But before I started the recording, I was telling her that I was a little nervous. I don't know why, because this is something that I do, not necessarily regularly nowadays, but I do want to get back into it more regularly. With just interviewing and talking to different business owners and people who have had you know, uh, just taking a leap on pursuing their business ventures and even stepping outside of different methods and avenues to get more eyes on their business. And so yeah, so how's everything been going for you? Like what's and before we start diving in and everything like that, what has been one highlight for you this week and one low?
Mm, highlight for the week. Oh my gosh, that should just come naturally, right? Um, I would say probably just getting rest yesterday, honestly. I know that's probably like, what? That's the highlight? Absolutely. Like I work with a lot of clients per week, and so just getting an opportunity to kind of just kick back. My nephew actually had a sleepover last night, so that will be a highlight for me. We had a good time.
I'm sure your schedule is extremely busy and you've been able to manage to have time to spend time with family and loved ones and everything like that. I'm sure that that's an amazing thing to do.
Yeah, it's difficult, trying to balance it, honestly, but I try to prioritize to make sure I'm making space for, my family and my friends. And so I'm not always available, on the weekends, but I try my best. Like when I feel good and I have the energy, I try to make sure I'm making a space for them.
Of course. And I feel like that's an amazing thing and that's honorable because there are so many people who can make any and every excuse that they don't have time, and you still manage to find the time to, make time for people outside of your business. Because I know it's not no 40-hour work week running a business.
Oh, it's every day, all day. My God.
Yeah,
What?
24/8.
A lot is.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So just to kind of just open up the conversation, what was it that got you into being, first of all, let me give Adrienne a quick little, tip about herself. But Adrienne started her business back in 2023, July of 2023, right? Um, she left an organization, she left a company and decided to take a leap of faith and start her own private practice. And from going from there, she, from the ribbon cutting up until now, like uh she has a started she wrote her own journal. She is about to launch a class, a course. She's been able to travel and is has a full schedule. Like she's on the brink of a wait list. Like, and it's just so exciting to see something as simple as that. Because were you worried when you first opened it? I'm sure you were, but
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When you're working for, someone else, because the other organization I was working at a group practice. So although we're considered like independent contractors, right, we're still working for that particular company. And so, it's like, oh yeah, I got somebody else I'm working for, but it'll be okay. But once I decided to work for myself, it's like, wait, a game changer. Like all the worries that I didn't think I had working at a group practice, it's like they all follow me here. Definitely worried, but I just truly felt like if I was successful at a group practice and I kept, a consistent client load, I had a wait list there. I'm like, I believe I will be able to do the same thing for myself, right? Like not just, working for an organization. So I was like, all right, God, we're gonna do it. And that's what I decided to do. And also I want to add, for people who graduate, they may feel like, hey, I want to go straight into private practice. And that's like a thing for some people, right? But for me, I felt like, I needed to develop my skills, and I was fortunate to work at a very supportive, organization. But also, kind of going back to that question that you asked as to why, I wanted to do this, I really wanted to create more access, for people. I'm in Mississippi, so they're not like a whole lot of black therapists. You would think like it's probably like thousands of us, but that's really not a lot when you look at it. And I just wanted to create space where people who had other insurances, or just wanted more access to me, and just therapy in general in my small like town where I'm from. And so that was like another reason why I took a leap of faith and also wanted to branch out.
Okay. No, that's awesome. And how have you been providing access to the wide range of people? Because we've discussed this off of here before. Just like, there's different, demographics and groups of people that you want to reach. Like what are those people that you want to reach out to?
Well, I have like an array of different people, right? Like I mostly work with like young adults and adults. I do work with some teens, but preferably it's more adults, all colors, right? Like a lot of black men. Yes, like I have a lot of black men on my caseload, which is so dope because it's hard, you know what I'm saying, for men to be like, I want to talk about my feelings, or I want to talk about, what happened to me, because they kind of just taught to just deal with it, and you the man push it down. And so just, providing the space for the men is like I said, it's just super dope. I love that also. But I accept like different insurances. I offer sliding scales, so just trying to think of all the ways like I can reach people, because let's be real for just a second, therapy is expensive, and sometimes even with insurance. So these going again, like when you don't know, like just that learning curve, like insurance have deductibles. Everybody don't have insurance. That insurance might not be in network. And so it's just a lot of barriers for people to have access to therapy. And so like I try to think of, okay, if there's a barrier, how can I, also, create a space for them still. But also remembering it's kind of hard because like this is our only way to make income, is we get paid by the clients that we see. And so it's like, sometimes this like war of like, man, I would do it for free for everybody, but also knowing like, well, if I do it for free, this office gonna be closed too, you know. You having to think of like the reality of, hey, how I can help, I can offer sliding scales, I can be supportive, but I also have to be realistic that I have bills, too. But I just wanted to make sure I have access, otherwise people have access to therapy.
Yeah, and also just setting those boundaries as well. Yeah, no, that's big. To make sure that not only are you providing a space and a resource to support people, but also you're in a position to support yourself. Because
Absolutely.
I know all of those things, all of those expenses, hiring employees and so on and so forth adds up. And those
Absolutely.
things need to be factored in. It's just like, yes, that hourly rate looks nice, but not, but however, you just have to take into consideration those different expenses that have to be taken care of to keep the business running.
Absolutely, yes, and that's the part people don't talk about. It's just like, oh, you business on you making all this money. No, Uncle Sam gonna get his cut, and he gonna get most of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all of this. But I love what I do, so I don't get too much caught up on like the money piece. Like I feel like I'm always full. People are waiting out 2 and 3 weeks. I just feel like God is gonna send the people who are meant to be here, and so I haven't stressed about that. And so I'm just grateful, but also learning how to balance the reality of, how much I can charge, how much support I can give, and also remembering like, hey, you got to keep these lights on, because I want to offer in person, therapy sessions also, not just virtual.
Yeah. And you're also providing like with like we were talking about it a little bit here and there. We will jump into it a little bit, but um just how like creating like an online platform for people who can't necessarily afford it, or people that are interested in becoming a therapist or are in school, or so
Mhm.
on and so forth. Like, you have no idea how much access and opportunity that you are providing to these new up and coming therapists and these new up and coming potential clients or what have you are obtaining through just you doing what you love.
Absolutely. I feel like God just, aligned everything the way that it was supposed to because I was literally just going by like, okay, I graduated, I got this job at the state, went to an addiction rehab place and worked there. And I'm like, okay, this is it. And from working there, I got connected with one of my supervisors, and then that's how everything just started. And so sometimes just being in the right place at the right time can, connect you to where you need to be, but sometimes you got to be ready, and I stay ready. I'm always like looking up new ideas, trying to make sure I have different interventions. Like, I don't want to, offer the same thing because every client is different, and what one approach works for one client is not going to work for the next client. And so, just trying to keep all that in mind. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. And I just wanted to point out a statistic really quick that it's just the disparity, like kind of just going back to what we were talking about. Black therapists, it's in America, there's only about roughly 4% of psychologists that are Black.
Mm.
Just to kind of bring perspective. And it's just like even going back to like how many people live, how many therapists are there in the US?
And
It's
that's, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and that's psychologists, but like even the percentage for psychotherapists, like, because that's even just to hear 4% for psychologists for like, oh my gosh, like,
If Black therapists in the US making up roughly 4% of psychology.
okay, you said psychologist. Okay, you said psychologist, but it's black therapists.
Yeah, so I'll just read it real quick. So what it's saying is like and this is just like kind of the good old AI overview. Is just there's a significant disparity in the number of Black therapists in the US, with Black individuals making up roughly 4% of psychologists, but higher percentages of other mental health professions, such as 22% of social workers and 11% of professional counselors.
Wow.
Uh, so according to recent data, and it's hard to pinpoint the exact numbers, but that just kind of just gives perspective. The name of her business is Healing Hearts and Minds. And she's definitely healing a lot of hearts and a lot of minds in and outside of her business. She has established a network that is going to continue to grow and will be ever growing because Adrienne truly cares about and loves what she does, like to the T, y'all. Like, I kid you not. Like, if you talking about somebody who loves what they do, like this woman, like sleeps, drinks, and breathes.
What? Yeah, where? You see me over here trying not to smile because I mean I absolutely do.
I don't know why you're not trying. No, what
I
like I
love
mean,
doing this. Yeah.
yeah. So what got you into it?
Into therapy. I would say from early on, like high school and growing up, I've always been like the go-to friend that everybody had, like even telling the secrets to, or looking for solutions. And so when I decided to go to undergrad, I thought I wanted to be a pediatrician, but I learned quickly, like, no, this is not for me. And so I'm like, okay, I'm passionate about helping. I wanted to help even as a pediatrician. Just, me, math and science was not, they're not my friends. So I was like, okay, how else can I still help people? And I just started, trying to figure out what I enjoy doing. And I ended up, doing psychology as my major in undergrad. And it just kind of went from there. In school, they don't tell you all the different opportunities and ways you can, succeed in the field. It's just like, hey, you study psychology, you can work at a hospital, but I just love helping people. I love getting to know people, helping them to understand like, how their challenges of what they've gone through, is impacting who they are today, and just helping them to just heal, literally like healing hearts and minds counseling, like helping them to heal from the things that they kind of feel stuck, in some areas. So I just love helping people. And
Okay.
sometimes I do it for free. So as you know, we talk about this, like you need better boundaries, like, but I'm just like, hey, if I can help, I try.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. And I can definitely attest to that where she is open and willing to help um a lot of different people. And she definitely is an advocate for Black communities as well. And just because mental health is, considered taboo in our communities, and it's not necessarily always taken seriously. as a medical thing that people have to endure through sometimes. And sometimes even it's not just, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes it's not even just you're born with the thing. Sometimes it develops through a lot of different types of traumas and triggers.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. Yeah. Different life experiences, you know, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Coach, you know this, right? Like, this, I mean, I know like you're interviewing me, but you're a coach, life coach, so you are familiar with a lot of some of the things for us, that our fields kind of overlap at times. And so definitely,
Of course. Yeah, no, like just like what you were talking about, like I was the same I was the same in the same thing, just like, people coming to me and, stuff like that, but I just never thought of considering life coaching because I feel like that field, like you really have to have or build a network or what have you, because I feel like life coaching is not taken as seriously. um and I shouldn't say it like that, but it's not taken as seriously because it doesn't have a quote unquote license, or it doesn't have those different things. But if, I mean, shoot, if people are going to still vent to you and talk to you about different things in different ways, why not get certified at least? Because even though I haven't like launched that business yet, I, ever since I've announced it and mentioned it, like I've been getting calls left and right from friends and family and different people. And um yeah, it's 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 definitely a lot of parallels. However, we are focusing on you. You are the star. And yes.
I will say this really quick though, with life coaches, since COVID though, a lot of people have, they turned to life coaches because the therapists were so overbooked and we had wait lists, we didn't have spaces for people. And so people was like, okay, I need help and I can't wait. And so the life coaches, literally stepped up that like they were already there, like you said, but some people would prefer a mental health therapist over a life coach. But since COVID, it's like we're all on one big team, and it's like people actually feel more comfortable because they don't have to worry about the labels of being diagnosed, if we're coming to a therapist and so forth. So I know this like might be like an episode for another day, but I just wanted to slide that in there that, COVID actually, made a difference for the field with people who are life coaches.
Okay. I mean, that's good to know. I just learned something from you. I didn't know that. And, because my background is, strength and conditioning and, sports and stuff like that. However, I have experience, talking a great deal to just people every day. Like, even working as a teacher, like my students were so comfortable, just like any moment that they could, all of them were just like,
Mhm.
let me talk to you about something. Can I share something with you? Can I, and it's just when we pay attention to those gifts that we have, like the ones that you have, you love what you do. I love, providing solutions and stuff like that as well. You love this. Like you study the diagnosis, you study the DSMs, you study, every, like she's always studying, and it's amazing. And you recently achieved something else too, right? Didn't you?
Did I?
Yes.
Did I? I
Yeah.
mean, I literally don't know what you're talking about. You know how it is. There's so much going on. I don't know what you're talking about.
It is a lot going on. You ended with it ends with an S.
Oh my gosh, yes, like I became a supervisor. Like I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, officially in June, I received the email that now I'm able to supervise upcoming therapists who have graduated with their masters and wanted to go the next step and become licensed themselves. And so I am super excited about that. So yes, I have not actually started announcing like I'm accepting any like supervisees at the moment. I think I'm probably going to wait and start at the beginning of next year because I have some projects that I already started this year that I want to make sure that I complete for this year. And so I'll probably start, interviewing and accepting people, but I won't actually start the work until next year, to be fair, because I want to make sure I can show up in that space as my best self like I do in all my other spaces. So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, so I said in with the S, but LPCS is what she got. And so I just want to say, like, I'm super proud of Adrienne. Like, just taking a leap of faith, and just even doing like and pursuing different challenges. Like what's it been like? You launched a book
Hmm.
earlier this year actually,
Hmm.
and what's been your experience with that?
Oh my gosh. I think if we're gonna go back to what you said in the beginning, like with the title about faith, I was definitely on the fence, like going against myself, like, should I do this? I don't know, maybe, but like just having the faith to believe that as long as my heart is in what I'm doing, then the rest will work itself out. And I was so nervous, as you know, because we talked about all of this. Um, Launched the journal and literally sold out within like 3 weeks. So I didn't have to do a second order, sold out again. And now we're at the third order. And so I'm just like blown away. Just how great everything has been, but it's just a testament that like sometimes we have these dreams inside of us, but we have to be willing to just take a leap of faith. Literally, like people always say, well, what could go wrong? What could go right? And so, I try to tell myself, well, what could go right about this? Even though I feel nervous, I feel anxious, I'm a therapist, but hey, I'm human, so right, I got these same emotions, but I still take that leap of faith and decide to do. And so it's been a great experience. Been great, but I had some lows throughout the experience also, and I'm pretty sure probably gonna dive into some of those lows. But overall, the highs are the
Well, okay, so what were the like so what made you decide, like what was the origin of it coming about? Like what made you decide I want to write a journal? And like what were the lows that you like, the highs and the lows that you experienced during the process?
Oh my gosh. Look, this should have been a question I could have had before the interview, so I could have, because I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure.
I for me, like, the thing that happens with interviews is that when, we get to start having conversations and stuff like that, like when you start to get to having conversations, additional questions start to flow. And it's not even just like, oh, I had this ready for you. It was like, you started talking about, hey, I had some lows, but it's just
Mhm.
like, so what were those? It doesn't have to be, these are the bullet points. It's just,
Oh no, it was so much in that experience. I'm like, I want to make sure I hit all the bullet points, like, right, the good and the bad. But so I love journaling. I know everybody is not team journaling, right? They're not like they don't like it. But I have had the prayer journals, the brain dumping journals, the guided journals. Like I have like literally a shelf full of them. And it's what I love to do. I have clients that love to do it. And one day I was like, you know what? I've never been to a store where everything is all in one. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all in one place. Like I don't know about you. I know you like to journal, but I don't know for sure, like, if you feel like pressure when it's like the 30-day or 60-day. For me, having some perfectionism tendencies, I try to stay away from the 90 days or 60 days. Because if I miss a day, I'm like, man, I messed up. Like, I got to start all the way over. And so I'm like, I want to create something that's going to be beneficial. Yes, I know I started with women. I'm a woman. I got you, men. I got you, teenagers. Like, I'm working on some more stuff, but I had to start with women, where I can have everything in one place. And so that's where I decided to do Reflect and Heal, your all-in-one journal for women. So it has everything that I could think of now. I'm pretty sure I missed some stuff, right? But did you want me to kind of talk about it a little bit, or
yeah.
um so it's a three-part journal. The first part is guided journaling. It's a daytime and a nighttime. So you have the morning where you check in with like questions like I like this nice skill, like how did you sleep, and so forth. For that I have the nighttime part where you check in your highs and lows for the day, how are you feeling? And at the end I've paired breathing exercises at the end of every page. They alternate, and you get to pair it with specific questions. So I'm not gonna give you too much. So I don't want to give it all away. So you can go purchase it and be like, oh my gosh, like what's she talking about? So that's that with that part. I have a part two for prayer journaling. No specific like religious belief, right? Just for people who are more spiritual. And I just wanted a section where I myself again, because this came from myself first. Be like, hey, I always encourage my clients, like, hey, write down the good things that are happening in your life so that when things are going bad, you can have something to reflect on. And so it just kind of put me in the mindset of like prayer. We pray so much all the time for different things, and then we pray for something else, and we're like, "Oh my God, is it gonna happen?" Like, "Oh my God, maybe God ain't gonna do it this time. Maybe it won't happen." But if we actually pause and look back over all the prayers throughout our life, like they've been answered. Maybe not every single one of them, but a lot of them. So I just wanted a space where you could write the prayer, put a scripture if that's your choice, or an affirmation. I'm an affirmation woman, on there, and then the date that the prayer was answered. So that's that leap of faith again, right? So we're gonna put the date that it was answered with a reflection because we believe that that prayer will come to pass. And so I just wanted that section to just be there. And then my third section is literally guided journaling, but it's not like what you're thinking. I have it categorized from relationships, self-esteem, grief, personal growth, like so many different options. And I have questions paired to each section. And at the very end, we got brain dumping for my girlies who like to just write freestyle. So yeah, so I was excited. I literally tried to, like I said, put everything all in one. No pressure. It's not something you have to do every single day. It's just like, hey, I feel like I might need to check in with myself. You can grab it. I might need to, just release some stuff. You can grab it. And so I just wanted to be very intentional on it being just something that you need rather than feeling like I have to do, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I myself, I'm a brain dumper. So I like, the pages with like all the lines, but I have a copy myself. I don't I do you have a copy with you? Like,
I do.
okay, we can look at it. You can show it after, and I
Mhm.
will definitely post the links on this video so you guys can have access, and even whatever else that you want to share. But yeah, no, like it's definitely an amazing journal. It's so beautiful. Like Adrienne has work, y'all. Like it was definitely work to get that done and up until the hit submit. And
Really?
I just want to say that like I'm just really proud of you for just doing it, because you put so much time and effort into it and so much energy into it, and making sure that it was exactly what people needed, and people are receiving it well, and I'm just proud of you for that.
I
uh
appreciate it.
yeah, and just kind of segueing a little bit, what's been what's one thing that you've learned as far as the business aspect versus education, your experience with education?
Can you give me a little bit more like with the comparison with education?
So like what's something that you've learned you know about being a therapist or a business owner in business versus being a therapist in education, you know j-
They're not the same. School does not prepare you to be a therapist as a business owner. School prepares you to be a therapist working at a hospital or community agency. Like I said earlier, like they're gonna put you in a place. But being a therapist as a business owner has been a completely different ball game. And I'm still learning myself. Like even though I've been open for 2 years, like I feel like I'm constantly learning something. I wouldn't say every day, but for sure like every month, just because I had no idea. So I kind of just took what I learned from the organization that I left, just like with taxes and things like that and running the structure. I had no clue. And so I had to like make connections and purchase like things to learn, like literally. So it's been a lot. And I still like reach out now. I still seek support from people who've been in business longer than me, who are therapists in the business. So I try to reach out to people who are therapists as well, so that I can make sure like we're on the same with the questions. But it's definitely been a ride, business wise. Yeah.
Okay. And so what's been like a kind of a learning curve for you when it comes to promoting your business and so on and so forth? Like what's that been like, if there has been a learning curve for you?
Um, I would say, I don't know necessarily if I would say this is a curve, but definitely resourcing, like outsourcing. I'm sorry, I meant to say outsourcing. I guess resourcing using the people that I know, but like outsourcing
Yeah.
things out because I feel like when I first opened, I wanted to do everything. I had all these ideas and not thinking of the fact like it's just me. Like you're the only therapist. You are trying to be the therapist, the manager, the this, the that. Like I was trying to have all the roles. I wanted to be active on social media. I wanted to have all these things and I couldn't balance it all. Like I would find myself trying to do these videos and saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do them like once a week or twice a week," and then it'd be like months in between. So then I'm like, "Dang, like I can't be, what's that saying? Over promising and under delivering."
Yeah.
Like, which I really did want to do it like every single day. I mean, every single week, but I didn't have it, and so just getting to a space where you said what?
Booked and busy.
And busy, but also still wanted to do like social media also because I mean it's exciting, it's fun. But that's where you came in at actually. So people, I don't know like who's watching or if you told them about it, like whatever. Anyway, you have played a really big part in like the social media piece and even with the journal piece. I've learned so much from you. So oh my God, you already know. Like, try this and try this and try that and oh, let's do batch content or you gotta be when I was doing the journal, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. When I was doing the journal, I remember Clay would say, you have to be realistic. You gotta be realistic. You cannot like have this plan and just think it's gonna happen overnight and or have a plan and just think like just because this is how I see it, I'm not understanding all of the other pieces that went along with it. So that was very frustrating and a learning curve for me that, hey, I can have an idea of how I want something to do, how I want something to be, but the people that reaching out for outsourcing, they are experienced in this. And so I may have to sometimes be willing to, how can I tweak this? Because I have to trust their abilities compared to what I think is best for my business. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was a lot, but you have ideas, brainstorming ideas with you, like different skits, different, just things to put on social media. So you played a really big part in that. And so I tell you all the time, my gosh, I would not be where I'm at social media wise, journal wise, had you if you weren't there to help me kind of navigate a lot of that. I had other support too, but like, yeah, I really appreciate you. And I tell you that all the time.
Of course. No, it's so just like you're passionate about helping people, like I'm passionate about helping people. And what led me to want to like dive in and support you with this and thank you. You didn't have to, but I just saw your message needs to get out. You need to be seen. Like I think that's what one of our first conversations that we've had earlier when we had first met was like you need to be seen because you are providing valuable information. You are an amazing therapist. You genuinely love what you do, and and you're just lovable. Like, and you're just a lovable, likable person. And so like if it's anything that I could do to help you and support you, and it's just like also just like with Black business owners, kind of going back to that, um we have a significant need for Black business owners and therapists. Like businesses are shutting down on the daily, and so even though social media is another thing that's quote unquote taboo or, not really taken seriously, people need to realize that that virtual footprint is and that virtual foot traffic is important because it's only going to make things a lot more easier and smoother when you're able to provide something. And so that's why I was so passionate about helping you. I loved seeing, how hard you were working and everything like that. And I just wanted to support you in any way that I could. And so, and with the journal, like I had just finished my journal, and you encouraged me to put mines out there. So it's just all like we can't like we got to put it out there. So you encouraged me to put my book out there, and I wanted to just teach you and show you what I've learned. And but I knew that the reason why I said you got to be realistic is that Y'all, Adrian, this was a big production. It was a big production. It's like this is pretty much a production. You are producing a product. And it's just like you don't want to just put out any rinky-dink thing just because you want to make sure it represents you.
Right.
And and it did everything. Like we went through the whole thing of finding somebody to create the cover and working on the borders and stuff like that. And it was just like it was worth every minute because not only was I learning from it, it just felt so rewarding and beautiful to see how much you have thrived and grown. you know that in of itself is rewarding to me,
Mhm.
because all I want is to see you succeed. That's it.
I appreciate that. I know. Yeah.
Of course. So I'm shoot. I'll be hyping her up every day. I'm like, Miss Adrienne is she got this, she got a book, she got this, she got something coming up. You also have something else coming up. So what else is coming up
Or
soon?
I definitely, I gotta say, like one of like the biggest supporter like I have. Like, of course, like I have my family. I got a cousin, that's like literally hyping me up always too, right? My cousin Mona. Shout out to you, Mona, if you watch this. But but yeah, like I just appreciate you, and people don't understand or they don't realize how important it is to have people on your team, or people on your side, because support can make you feel like I can do anything. You know what I'm saying? Because by myself, it's like, well, maybe I won't worry about this or I ain't got time for this. But you're like, no, do it. Like, if you don't do it this month, do it for next month, but get it out. Like, you're always like, just get it out. Like, so you're always kind of pushing me out my comfort zone, because I hit you with the what ifs, in a heartbeat, you know. I definitely will. Um, yeah, like I'm a therapist, but one thing about me, I'm myself as well. Like even in the therapist room, like I let them know I'm not perfect. I'm human too. So those same emotions that y'all have, I deal with them also. So I'm not gonna say like, oh, I got it together. No, no. I am a work in progress just like everybody else. So
And I love that. And I'm just so grateful and so honored that we have met and been able to collaborate and work together and support each other, even though like we maybe we have different paths and experiences. It's just like we're still learning from each other and learning, and just growing together, as individuals and as a team, and so it's just a really beautiful thing, and I really genuinely like look forward to seeing what else. She also has a workshop coming out, y'all. I know this has probably been me just like kind of like she got this, she got that, but why not? Like, why not? Like, just I don't think it's bragging. I think it's really just like I don't think it's bragging at all. I think it's just you have done so much and you deserve to be celebrated. You deserve that.
yeah,
Because of all of the sacrifices you made and because of how much you give to not only your community but people that you haven't even seen their face,
yeah.
but they see you. And so I just want to let you know that I'm proud of you, for continuing to put yourself out there, continuing to challenge yourself. There was one time we had met and we just out of nowhere just started, watching a video about, how to do social media a certain way and this, that, and the third, and, different kinds of methods and platforms that we should use. And I just love the fact that she's like, all right, I get it, I'm gonna do it. And she did it. And it's just so exciting to see the evolution of you, Adrienne. And
Speaking of evolution, thinking about when you first, like, I look at my social media in the very beginning, right? It was more like, I tried to like challenges. I post like, I don't be knowing the language, I guess a reel or something about like self-care or something like that. But once I started talking to you and you would help me with the ideas, like it's just so different, telling me, hey, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Be yourself, just record it, get it out. It's okay if it's a mistake, just get it out, because I was so preoccupied on it's got to be right that I never would post it. And you're like, just put it out. And so just all the encouragement, even with that, and you just, helping me learn how to navigate through TikTok and doing split screens and, all that stuff. Like this stuff was like French to me, okay? Like French. I know how to log onto a Zoom for a session and log back off, but getting on TikTok and everything and trying to set it up, no, like you literally, walk me through steps and, help me, to be where I am now in the social media world. And so I really do, appreciate that also.
Of course.
I just
No.
want the comparison, for them to hear like, hey, yeah, this is what it was before, and this is how it is now.
No, of course. And it was absolutely my pleasure, Adrienne. Like it's just like I love like I said, I love seeing what you're doing. I always admired you and appreciated the fact that you were not afraid. And even if you were and did it scared, like you really genuinely have something that a lot of people need to know about. And we're about to wrap up, and I just really want to say that I appreciate you even just acknowledging the support, but it's just like it just goes to show that, you know, we're there are people out there who will help you, and there are people out there who are willing to support you,
Yeah.
and you don't have to do everything alone. Um, and I know we're about to wrap up, but I wanted to show you guys Adrian's profile if you guys want to follow her, if you want to look at the her book or anything like that, or her event coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about that event before we wrap up? We got like 2 minutes.
Yes, but I was gonna tell you really quick for people who are watching, and let's say like they're not in therapy or they're in therapy. I just kind of want them to think of these two words because if I could describe like my experiences with my clients and even like my support system, connection and safety are very important.
Mhm.
So asking yourself like how connected are you with these people or that person, and how safe do you feel, with these people or that person. And so, I just want to add that in really quick. But yeah, the workshop is, again, I'm sorry y'all, it's for women. So it's just really, just to kind of sum it up, it's really a space just for women to kind of unplug for the day and, kind of just wind down, learn some self-care tips, learn some stuff about setting boundaries, and so forth. And so it's just a lot. And I see you got the profile up. And so if you get a chance, just click on the page and read it if you can. And you will not be disappointed. I'm super excited about that.
Yes, I love it. I'm so excited. Well, thank you so much, Adrienne. I will definitely post the links for you.
Oh,
Just so proud of her for doing it. And
share one if you can.
yeah, you don't have to do it every day. Like you don't, oh, this is her book, y'all. I know it's about to end, but this is her book. And I'll definitely post the links. Can you tell us what your link is?
The one beside it, reflect, healheartsandminds.com is my website. All together, lowercase, healheartsandminds.com, and you will see the wellness journal and everything on that page. Also, the event should be showing on there also. But yes, this was so exciting. Like I can't wait to do like another interview.
Of
Um,
course.
yeah.
Of
But
course.
yeah,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.